Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Larson. Thanks for joining me in another episode of Keep It Real. So I'm asked a lot about cleanses and detoxes and when you should do one and why you should do one. And so let's talk about that. First of all, there's lots of different ways to cleanse, to detox. Cleanses and detoxes have been around for a very, very long time, hundreds of years. As a naturopathic doctor, it's something that is, pretty front and center in our education, because there's these, organs of elimination that can get kind of clogged up, like kidney and liver function and lungs and the whole gastrointestinal system, liver. And so there's things that we can do to kind of allow those organ systems to regenerate, because if they're just pounded and pounded and pounded all the time, they don't really get a chance to recoup and regenerate. And so doing even just short-term cleansings or fasts could really help to allow those organ systems to catch up and really do your body a lot of good. So a couple things to think about. One is why should we do a cleanse? So not only just for the organ sort of support, but we're exposed to so many different chemical toxins, and just a whole variety of toxins, pesticides and different plastics and petrochemicals. We're exposed to this stuff constantly. In our own home, we can have, carpets and furniture that cause like off-gassing of different chemicals that are in there. In our offices, the same thing. There could be air conditioning issues that, maybe the filters aren't clean, so we're breathing in all that stuff. And probably the biggest one is in our foods. Even if you're making good food choices, certainly if you're not making good food choices, but even if you are making good food choices, there's residues of pesticides and herbicides and different things in our foods and other chemicals and even pathogens that can be in our food supply that we're really not even aware of. But these things can accumulate. Heavy metals in our environment, in our diet, could really start to accumulate in the body. And so a cleanse would be something good to help allow the body to repair and regenerate those tissues that have been burdened with these chemicals and different toxins. And so some symptoms that are pretty common when there is, kind of toxic overload, toxic burden, of things like unexplained weight gain, things like hormonal imbalances, skin issues, gastrointestinal problems, mental fogginess, and memory problems and cognitive issues. These are very, very common symptoms that there's a need for some cleansing and some detoxing. So some things you can expect, and depending on what kind of detox you do, a very basic one could just be doing a juice fast, using something like a superfood greens powder, of course my favorite is called New Greens, and using New Greens a few times a day, and plenty of water. And then depending on if you want to just eliminate certain foods or go completely without foods and just kind of do a liquid fast for 24 hours or 48 hours. Beyond that, you might need more like medical supervision, but just doing very high quality juices or superfood powder like New Greens is a great way to just allow the body to catch up and stay ahead of the organ support and regeneration. So some things that you might want to think about and maybe to expect during a cleanse is your energy might drop a little bit because you're not consuming the same foods for energy. And so you want to honor that process, and you don't want to work out vigorously. You maybe even want to do it in a way where you don't have to be very mentally active, because your mental and your physical endurance might go down a little bit. You might have some GI changes, like bowel movement change might happen a little bit. Since we're supporting your organs of elimination, you might notice different body odor during a cleanse. You might notice your breath changes. You might notice your skin, maybe you sweat differently. You might notice some maybe changes in your skin, so you can do some exfoliation. You could do things like some skin brushing or like a loofah. You could take hot baths, or not blazing hot, but take a hot Epsom salt bath or something like that that has some cleansing properties. If you have access to a sauna, or a hot tub or something like that, that heat can help to kind of draw some toxins out. Some people even like to do things like colonics, which is colonic irrigation, and that kind of helps to pull toxins out so that we're not recirculating these toxins. You know, light exercise is okay, but I wouldn't do very rigorous exercise. Just keep it kind of light and allow that process of regeneration to happen. So anyhow, I just wanted to give a couple tips on cleansing, why you might do it, what are some symptoms, things to look for that might indicate you need to do a cleanse, and then kind of some things to expect during the cleansing process. So I hope that's been useful. This is a good time of year to do it. Kind of transition between like winter and spring is a good time. The environment's going through changes, so it's a good time to make those changes in our own internal system. So I hope that helps, and enjoy the cleanse. Let us know if you have any questions. Until then, keep it real.